Hello everyone. So in this video, I want to compare two of the most popular bone conduction headphones on the market, all made by the same company called Shokz. So what I have here, this is the original Shokz OpenRun, which is exclusively designed for running activities and outdoor sports activities. Over here is the Shokz OpenRun Pro 2, which is their latest generation of bone conduction hybrid bone conduction speaker or headset. Both of those are actually excellent for outdoor activities where you need situational awareness, but you don't want to lose out on enjoying your music or your audiobooks when exercising. Okay, so I've already had a pretty comprehensive review of the Shokz OpenRun. If you're interested in seeing how this works or how both of those is going to work in both running situations and cycling activities, including mountain biking, do check out my original video. But over here in this video, I really want to give my opinion on what I think about the OpenRun versus OpenRun Pro 2. Okay, so the OpenRun uses the 8th generation bone conduction technology that's developed by Shokz. OpenRun Pro 2 uses the 10th gen bone conduction technology. Now, if you ask for my honest opinion, is there improvement in terms of sound quality between the OpenRun Pro 2 and OpenRun? Yes, there is, but it is very limited. Okay, and it is very limited to particular situation. So both of those will work great in quiet environments. The OpenRun uses bone conduction technology only. So what that means is it will vibrate on those two parts in the front of the headphone where it touches your cheekbone. That vibration translates into a very nice sound wave in your head. So it makes the talking and the mid-pitched audio and high-pitched audio very clear and very easy to be heard. The OpenRun Pro 2 uses a hybrid approach where it uses maybe 50% of the bone conduction technology, which is vibration, as well as a actual speaker where it blasts the audio through the two speakers over here into your ear canal. That speaker transmits or produces low-end, kind of like the bass sound. So in terms of audio quality, you will have a more significant bass boost if you pick and choose the OpenRun Pro 2. Now, here is the actual situation, okay? Because uses a hybrid approach and it's actually blasting audio through the air. In actual use, outdoors, running in kind of more noisy environments, the OpenRun Pro 2 actually performs inferior compared to the original OpenRun. The original OpenRun uses a very strong bone conduction technology, 100% to be exact. So you will hear the music and the audio more clearly in the outdoor environment at the same audio and at the same volume setting on the OpenRun compared to the OpenRun Pro 2. Okay, so quite frankly, if hearing the music and hearing the audio is what your priority is outside, and most of your activity is going to be fairly noisy, say running on a soccer field where there are kids playing around, that kind of situation, I would actually highly suggest pick the original OpenRun because the audio is more clear, the volume is louder, and the sacrifice you're going to get for picking this is only sacrifice on the bass department. There's not going to be a lot of bass, period, for OpenRun. But does that matter? in an outdoor noisy environment? For me personally, no. Okay. And for the OpenRun Pro 2, the same volume compared to OpenRun, it's gonna have less volume. It's gonna be hard to hear. So you have to crank up the volume to the max. And a lot of times, if it's very noisy, even if you crank this up to max, you will not hear the music or the audio very clearly. Now, for the original OpenRun, there is no apps to fix all kinds of audio. There's no EQ adjustment. You get what the original audio produces. That's it. For the OpenRun Pro 2, there is an app available for iPhone and Android. You could go into the audio app settings and turn off the hybrid approach, which is going to turn off the bass speaker, and it's going to use 100% bone conduction. Once that is turned on, the volume boost is you're going to have a small volume boost in terms of the hard to hear situations. Okay, so with that volume boost, it's slightly louder. However, based on my personal test, it's still not as loud and as clear as OpenRun. But you do have the option to turn off the hybrid and turn on bone conduction 100%. That will give you a volume boost. Okay. The downside, once you turn off that bass and you turn on 100% bone conduction, the battery life drops significantly. My understanding is with the hybrid approach, the battery life is 12 hours on the OpenRun Pro 2. If you turn that off, you turn on 100% bone conduction, that drops to probably 7 to 8 hours, which is going to be on par with the battery life of the OpenRun. The OpenRun's battery life is rated at 8 hours, and quite frankly, now I exclusively use this for my office use during the day, and I sit in my office for 8 hours plus. It will last for 8 hours, and I have a lot of meetings during the day. And again, for folks that are wondering, does the microphone works? Yes, 100%. The microphone works great, but only in quiet environments. There are no noise cancellation. So if you're in the outdoors, you use this and you get a phone call. If it's very noisy, the microphone kind of sucks. So same for this. It's going to be same thing. Noise cancellation department, no. But in a quiet environment, both of those works well. If you do remote work, if you sit in the office, and if you use this exclusively as a headset, they work great for office use as well. Both of those. Okay, so, and now, if you use this exclusively indoors, I would pick OpenRun Pro 2 because audio quality is better. There are bass being produced with that hybrid approach. So I would pick this for indoor use in a quiet environment, 100%. This will have better audio quality. This will have battery life that's going to be improved as well. Okay, so that's my overall conclusion, really based on your use. If you're using this indoors, I would pick OpenRun Pro 2. And right now it's on sale Black Friday for $125. If you could get this used for less than $100, I would totally pick this for indoor use 100%. Now the OpenRun Pro 2, the OpenRun, again, on sale Black Fridays. If you have Costco membership, this is $75. Insane value. And I've been using this every day since my review. It's been super reliable. Battery life has been fantastic. So definitely get this for outdoor running if you need to hear in a loud environment. Now some small differences. The OpenRun Pro 2 exclusively use USB-C charge, and they charge very fast. Okay, so the charging port is right here behind, which is good, I guess. Lots of people nowadays use USB-C. However, I do like the magnetic charging option on the original OpenRun. Now, if you go to OpenRun website, they have option to pick the magnetic or USB-C. So really depending on your use, if you like magnetic charging, I would pick magnetic charging. And if you buy this from Costco, the special edition, It's only magnetic charging. So you have to bring that charger everywhere if you travel. If you buy it on the OpenRun website, you have the option to pick USB-C now for the original OpenRun, as opposed to a magnetic charging only for the OpenRun. And for the OpenRun Pro 2, you have USB-C option only. And those are the only differences. And the very last, sizing. Okay, so I would pick the original size, even if you have a smaller head, because if you pick the original size, it doesn't touch your head, which I would think it's a plus. I actually bought the OpenRun Pro 2 as a small size, so gonna give you guys a comparison. So you can probably see the difference. It's not much. So the small size is just like a touch smaller. So if you really have a really tiny head, or if you buy this for your kid, I would pick the mini. But I think for most people, the original size is gonna be your best bet. The mini size, it actually kind of touches your head or your hair. If you have a lot of hair and if you have a headband, this actually kind of gets in the way. Like for me personally, I don't really like the mini size, and I kind of wish I would have picked the original size. So sizing wise, unless you have a really tiny head, I would always suggest go for the regular size. This band, you don't want this to touch your head because that gets annoying during the workout. And for me personally, at least, so that's for the sizing. And that's it. I hope you guys found this video helpful in helping you making a decision on whether on which one of those OpenRun you should pick. Okay. Quick summary again. Pick the OpenRun if you do outdoor activity in loud environment. The audio is louder. Pick the OpenRun 2 Pro if you do most of the activity indoors in a quiet environment, because the sound quality is better on the OpenRun 2 Pro. If you're outside in a loud environment, the advantage of the OpenRun 2 Pro kind of fades away, and it's also heavier, so you can feel this more significantly as opposed to the OpenRun. And that's another downside of the OpenRun 2 Pro. All right, so that's it. Thanks again, guys, for watching, and subscribe. Hit the like button if you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, ask me in the discussion section down below, and I'll try my best to help you answer the question. Thanks again, and take care.